memorial is actually known as. However, the technical is it's the Marine Corps Memorial. It's the Marine Corps Memorial. It's for those who have fought in the Marine Corps since November 10th, 1775 until present day. So when you're looking at the memorial itself, it's gorgeous. It was bought in 3 different shiploads. It's a huge, huge sculpture. Top to bottom is 76 feet. The statues themselves are 32 feet tall. They're just absolutely, it's a huge sculpture. In the District of Columbia, the tallest that a statue can be is 19 feet tall, but we're over in Virginia. We're not in the District of Columbia, so that's why it can be taller. It's in the DC area, but not technically in the district. So it's absolutely huge. So really what the memorial is for those who have fought, and so it has every single conflict or, any, the Tripoli Wars. We don't technically consider that a huge conflict of America, but, the Tripoli Wars in 1801 to 1804, and it has all these different conflicts that the Marines have been involved in since its founding. And so, you kind of look and go, Marines are just known as being tough guys, and one of their actual mottos on the back, uncommon valor is a common virtue. Let that sink in. Uncommon valor, so people who are unusually courageous is a common trait, something that you'd find in the Marines very often. And so that is what the actual Marine Corps is for. Now the statue itself, it's of Iwo Jima. And Iwo Jima was a battle that took place in 1945, and the battle actually took place kind of, they thought it was going to take about 7 days to get this island, which is about 600 miles off the coast of Japan, south of Tokyo. They thought it would take only, 7 days, but turns out it took over a month. And in the midst of that, 7 days into the battle, the men actually took over Mount Suribachi. And Mount Suribachi, they raised the flag. It's over 500 feet tall. They were raising the flag, these 6 men, 5 Marine Corps, 1 Navy corpsman. They were raising the flag, and when they raised the flag, there was a man there, Joel Rosenthal, who got a picture of it. And as they're raising the flag, it's interesting because at that point there were newsreels, and they saw the newsreel of them raising the flag, but the picture of it was just so iconic. It became kind of a very, very iconic, different, picture, because you can see the struggle, as the statue is just unbelievably well done. It cost $850,000 to get this done, and think of it today. I think that the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial cost like something like $200 million to do. So this is a very, very much affordable version of that. And so we're going to actually be passing it here on the left in just a moment. Yeah, there it is on the left right now. We're going to come back around to it. It is one of those larger than life. Like, I think that the Lincoln Memorial and the Iwo Jima Memorial are the 2 that are bigger than you actually think that they are. Now those rocks on the bottom, those are actually rocks that were imported in from Mount Suribachi. So it's actually from Japan itself. And this is something interesting. So America ended up winning that battle. We won the war. And it was very influential because by having America there, by having us there, we were able to bomb into Tokyo at the end of the war. So 20,000 Marines were actually on the island. 7,000 didn't make it off. Of the 6 who were raising the flag, 3 did not make it off. Of those remaining, 2 of them became an alcoholic, and 1 of them became alcoholics, and 1 of them never talked about it for the rest of his life and died in 2004. So, you kind of look and go, they really struggled inwardly with the battles themselves. Like, we always make it heroic, like Saving Private Ryan, which is, they're just great, and really America came together. But when you think of the individual lives, it is kind of amazing. So this memorial itself is absolutely gorgeous. If you walk around it, as you're walking around, like from the front side of it, it's actually an optical illusion. So they have the flag that's a little bit bent, and so if you're walking around it and then you go to the back of it, it looks like the flag is being raised up, which is really, really cool. So I think you can get that illusion as you're walking. It's under construction right now, so we're going to try and get as close as we can. Usually we drive around it, but they've had it closed for several months. And so I'm just glad, because it was actually under scaffolding for a couple of months, and they finally took the scaffolding off a couple of weeks ago. So it's a very, very beautiful memorial. Now the 6 men, like I mentioned before, 5 were Marine Corps, and 1 was a Navy corpsman. And again, this was just a hugely successful battle for America. And really at the end of the war, this was it was a very needed needed thing to happen for America to be able to get to the end of World War II on the Pacific front, because at this point we were all over Europe, but we're having a little bit more difficulty over on the Pacific theater. And so it's really just so beautiful, and the Marine Corps is just again, they've just done so much. They're known as kind of the tough guys, so it's pretty fun. So we're gonna get over there in just a moment. I'm gonna help Steve, not Stan, Steve, over here. I know I own my one thing that's really